Call this special village board meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. All trustees are present except for trustee Amanda, who I believe is on her way. This meeting's been properly noticed.
Yes.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is consideration of the 2017 budget amendment. Turn this over to Marty Mendelson.
Hi.
Hello.
This memo outlines the recently representative from the Department of Revenue contacted us, started asking some questions about this number and that number on the expenditure restraint form. At the heart of the issue at hand is that, well, debt payments taken from fund balance can be deducted from our expenditure restraint expenditures. That only applies if they're from general fund reserves, not from debt service reserves. So I've worked through that discussion with the Department of Revenue, and the proposed amendment addresses their technical challenges with making sure the state maintains their, or making sure the village maintains their eligibility for expenditure restraint. The easiest solution to that, of several considered, was to pretty much just go back and restate the rental income that we got from the North Shore Fire Department as an expenditure offset, as has been historically done. This was a change that we implemented in 2017 to bring that out as its own revenue. After review of that topic with our auditors, but that grosses up then the number of funds that we show as expenditures from North Shore Fire Department. We are perfectly content to let us do a budget amendment and reorganize that.
The DOR.
The Department of Revenue. So that's our proposal. Just doesn't change anything, it just makes the Department of Revenue happy. And happy Department of Revenue is a good Department of Revenue. So if you would so recommend, you take that taken care of.
I would move to approve resolution 2017-12 to amend the 2017 budget.
Second.
Discussion?
What does that mean moving forward, like for next year when we use reserve funds?
Well, I'm just going to budget rent credits against North Shore Fire Department as we've always done. The Department of Revenue even acknowledges that that's not the most proper accounting method, but it's consistent and be a net zero impact as far as.
I'm just wondering what that, I don't know what it means, like what it meant that you had to transfer from the general fund to debt service rather than the reserve fund. Is like just a simple transfer into different funds?
In 2016, those bonds generated some bond premiums. And at that point, no matter if I will give additional thought to for our next bonding, we recorded those premiums in our debt service fund. And then we were applying those premiums from the debt service reserves to offset part of the cost of our debt premium.
Which we talked about doing in the future as well. Okay.
Right. So I'll manage that a little tighter with this new information in mind and make sure that we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed going forward.
Is it just a simple matter of which fund it gets deposited into?
Yeah, I hate to say it quite that simply, but that's how they're applying their standards to maintaining eligibility.
This is not affecting our expenditure restraint.
No, this will not affect our overall expenditure restraint. Now, it does gross down expenditures, so our base will be adjusted consistent with the base we had in 16 in this respect. And we'll move forward. We still should have have funding of the new hearing room to manage that within everything we need over the next several years.
So, to be clear, in my mind, what we're doing here is, historically, we've always just netted out the rental against the
That's correct.
expense, and then our auditor kind of said, this isn't really the way to do it, you should show it as a revenue.
Correct.
So we did that, but then the Department of Revenue said, if you do that,
If we do that, they won't allow us to adjust our prior base for the same accounting change.
because they don't allow you to go back and change budgets from old budgets.
Right.
Right, okay.
So will our auditor have a problem? Will we expect an auditor's finding next time?
I think I can explain the situation to our auditors and they will be not adverse to that.
Preparing myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? This is a resolution, so this will be a roll call vote.
Yep. Trustee Bakers,
Aye.
trustee Maher,
Aye.
trustee McKay,
Yes.
trustee Rosen, trustee Lenta,
Aye.
trustee Zobek. Aye. President Johnson. Passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Next item is discussion and consideration of long-range financial plan. Also turn this over to Mr. Emanuelson.
All right, we got a lot of feedback from our first presentation and discussion about some of our projects, and we've integrated much of that into our project schedules that drive this analysis. At this point, this is the full presentation, so if you will, I will go through the presentation, and in this context, the project schedule ends up at the end of the presentation. To summarize, basically page number 1 on the report. Again, is a 10-year plan to try to put into context the fiscal impact and outlook that the village will face given the numerous capital initiatives that are identified in this plan. Again, this is intended to be a 100-foot view of the world.
Is 100 foot a long distance for you, a very short distance?
It's medium. It's medium.
I just want to know where
It's
you're
medium.
at.
It's not 1,000 or 10,000, but again, there's
To me,
rounding,
it's a very low.
there's rounding, there's estimates, there's assumptions that have to be used in making these types of projections. So we try to do our best to make reasonable and somewhat conservative assumptions that apply to all cases. While this is the document that will lead to our capital requests and capital planning, particularly in the short term, it's not necessarily intended to project budget amounts that will be forthcoming. Those items are discussed individually and separately with the trustees and the board during our budget hearings. But certainly that's our guide. So as we get through this, particularly in the 2018 and 2019 cycle, those are the types of documents that staff will prepare and bring to the board for their consideration in the budget cycle. Moving on to page 2. One of the key issues here is looking at the village in respect to their long-term needs and levy limits. The schedule on page 3 is an overview of that.
Do you want us to hold questions? Do you want us to hold questions or ask them as we go?
No, you can ask as you go, I think.
It's up to you.
It's on
Well, as long as it doesn't drag it on for 4 hours.
Exactly.
Okay?
Just one significant thing I noticed on page 2, and we talked about a little bit beforehand. We've always, I think we've always, I don't know when the last time it was changed, but we used a tax, moderate tax levy increase of 1.5. And on page 3, you know, this is the first time I've seen us move it up to 2.
That's correct.
And when was the last time we upped our moderate projected?
It predates my arrival at the village.
So,
But all our trends are seeing that 1.5 is not a realistic projection anymore, so we're using 2% just to give a better sense of, again, that broader view of what we think might happen.
so in essence, what we're saying is unless we did some cutting during the budget cycle, we have to raise, we might have to raise taxes 2% as we went through in order to cover things.
In general sense, yes. In a general sense, there's a lot of options that we do during the budget cycle that'll let the board decide how to manage those decisions, but
This plan that we're showing.
just from a strategic, from a 100-foot view for 10-year plan, that's the assumptions we use. So Schedule 3 is kind of a metric that talks about our debt service based on the projects identified in the plan and with the help of our fine friends at Ellers. We've run through a buildup of our future debt on line 8 of page 3 and how that would look. I will add at this point in time that compared to last year's plan, we do have a provisional holder in the document for the refuse equipment borrowing that we expect to bring to the board next week. We've also made a realignment. We have traditionally accounted for the debt that the village incurred related to the North Shore Fire Department merger in our capital fund. We moved that to the debt service fund. That is clearly debt service costs. So that is, again, one of the things that we've done. So if you see some of these baseline numbers and you know some differences, those are the two factors why our existing numbers from year over year will have changed.
So does that mean, if you look at 2026, it says per house, debt service cost per household will be $713 in 2016, or last year's LRP, it was $577. So it went up about $160 per household. Is that because of those two things you just mentioned?
Well, that and all the changes in the capital planning document, project schedules, yeah. Mostly it's with the existing debt schedule on line 7 that those impacts are seen between the two plans.
And can I just ask, the final question on this page was, we predicted a 356 per household debt service number, and this year in 2017 we're putting 375, so it's about $20 more. Is that attributed to the refuge buying? I remember, what could that be attributed to? Did we borrow more?
Well, one of the numbers you'll see on line 3 is the 2002 Whitefish Bay notes. Again, those have historically been recorded in the capital fund. Those are now in the debt service fund. And there's also some 2002 or 3 Whitefish Bay or Bayside bonds that were refinanced in 2012. So they are now part of the existing debt schedule on line 7. So, and I can certainly provide the details of that, but those are the drivers between those two numbers. It's really, again, recognizing those debt service needs in the debt service fund
Rather than the general fund?
rather than the general capital projects fund. Yes.
So will we see a corresponding decrease in the general capital?
Perhaps.
Okay, thank you.
On line 13, when you have a 300,000 assessed value base, is that 300,000 adjusted each year as the properties are appreciating?
Well, what I've done is taken our assessed base, divide by $300,000 to come up with a number of $300,000 units.
Right.
And that's what I'm dividing across the line. So as property values go up, it's
Okay.
still the same number of units.
Okay.
So that we don't have, we had a little distortion last year where it showed like we were not making any increases. And that was not
Correct. 'Cause you
not with the real world, it's gonna help, I
Okay,
think.
good, so you adjust.
Yes. So, since Mr. Harrigan is here, and this is our debt service schedule, I'd like to give him an opportunity to go through pages 42 and 43, which is basically the underlying numbers that roll into these schedules here on page 3. So, Mike, if you're ready to just touch on that.
I'd be happy to do it.
So 42 and 43.
Those are your two first page fold-out papers.
So, we're gonna, are you gonna address 44 and 45 at all, or should I just, a little bit of those, because those are.
44 and 45 would be a general wrap-up, but if you want to touch on them relevant to your discussion, that's fine.
I just want to point out that the numbers that are driving the debt service plan are the project costs